get started. Before we do get started, I'll give you a brief introduction on the GoToWebinar technology that we're using tonight. You should have a control panel in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. On this control panel, you can see which of your Girl Scout sisters are also on the call on the attendee list. And you can see here on your screen is the agenda that we have for this evening. We'll be talking about preparing for new girls, calling all new girls, and Spring Renewal 2017. So lots to talk about. By the way, we do have a question log. So at any time throughout the webinar, you can type a question or comment into this log. It does help us a great deal if you ask your questions in complete sentences so we can clearly know what you're asking. And we'll do our best to respond to those questions throughout the session. Let's go ahead and give that a test run and see if you could answer this question. What is your favorite Girl Scout memory? In the question log now. If you can just go ahead and type some stuff for us in there, we'll know that your question log is working and that you know how to use it. So just waiting for some of those to pop up. Here we go. Okay, so we have a favorite Girl Scout memory. Day camp at Timberlane, taking our daisies to the zoo. What a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. Spending time with our girls, camping, all that great stuff. So camping, a lot of camping, and a lot of making new friends. COSI, yeah, that was a blast. I remember working the elevator at COSI like all night long. All right, great. Camping, a lot of lifelong friends. Then you're in it for a treat tonight because that's what this is all about. So in addition to this wonderful question log, we also have an ability for you to ask your questions out loud. So currently everyone is muted in order to minimize background noise. But if you'd like to be unmuted, you can just raise your virtual hand. You do this by clicking the hand raising icon on your control panel. It looks like a round blue button with a yellow hand inside, and when you click it, it raises your virtual hand. Then we'll unmute your line one person at a time. So, and we'll do that to the best of our ability. We are a little pressed for time tonight, but the surefire way to get your questions answered is by putting them into the question log. So, let's see, somebody's having a hard time hearing. I'm going to try to send them a quick message. Okay. So, by the way, our webinar will be recorded in case you want to listen to it again, or maybe you want to share it with somebody who's not able to make it this evening. And you can find this recording at YouTube, on YouTube, at the Girl Scouts of Northeast Ohio channel. So you just go to youtube.com/user/Girl Scouts NEO, or just put a keyword search in for GSNEO YouTube channel on Google, and you'll find us that way too. So there's a lot of videos there. You might want to check it out. Also, please spread the word so that others may join us as well. We're offering this webinar a couple times. We realize that not everybody's going to be able to join us all at the same time. So if you, and I'm going to try to grab a laser pointer here. You can see that this is what we're doing right now, the 6:30 meeting, but we also have two more options, one at 6:30 tomorrow evening and one at 10 a.m. on Saturday, April 2nd. That's not this Saturday, but next. The meetings are about an hour long, and feel free to spread the word. People can still sign up on the event calendar at GSNEO. Okay, so before we go any further, I suppose I should introduce myself. My name is Kim Klima, and I am the Director of Volunteer Support and Services here with the Girl Scouts. I've been here for about 15 years now, give or take, and actually been a Girl Scout since about the 2nd grade. I was a troop leader for my two daughters from kindergarten through 12th grade, and now that my girls are grown, I love helping my daughter run her very own Girl Scout troop when I get a chance to do that. So I'm truly honored to help you, my new Girl Scout friends, and I hope that you have a wonderful and amazing Girl Scout journey just like I did. All right. So I'm wondering if you guys are aware, just kind of occurred to me that maybe not everyone knows. In the Girl Scouts in Northeast Ohio is made up of about 26,000 girls. That's 26,000 girl members. We could technically fill the Cleveland Indians Stadium, right? Also, about 10,600 adult members plus another 1,489 lifetime adult members. We also have about 2,500 Girl Scout troops out there in 129 service units. So that's pretty remarkable if you ask me. I just don't know if everybody's always aware of how many of us there are. You know, it's quite a sisterhood out there. All right, let's go ahead and talk about what's coming up here ahead of us this quarter. So we know in Girl Scouts, our year starts on on October 1st and goes through September 30th. And so October through December is our very first quarter of the year. But what we're in now is what we consider our third quarter, the spring quarter. And this is the time of year when we're building new troops, getting prepared for the fall. We're also making sure that we're giving out our awards to all the girls at the Court of Awards ceremonies, and we're bridging to new age levels in Girl Scouting. A lot of fun there. Maybe you're flying up or bridging. And also we should be taking a look at our troops to see how many more girls can each of our troops serve, and making sure that those vacancies in the troop are actually listed on the opportunity catalog. Also, this time of year are some great surveys that come out each year, and our volunteer survey, just like always, will be coming out as well. And what we learned was that GSUSA will be sending their own volunteer survey, and so you're actually going to get two. I will tell you that the one from GSNEO is going to be sent out in July. So if you're the type of person that's only going to do one of the two surveys, if you wouldn't mind waiting until July, you'll be able to do that, do ours, and we'd really appreciate that. But of course, if you want to do both, that's even better. Also, you know, if your girls aren't registered for the Girl Scout Voices survey, please make sure that they do that. That's a really important part of Girl Scouting, so that we get their input and their feedback, and we really do like to know how they're feeling about everything as well. And then last but not least, and probably actually most importantly, the spring is the time of year when all of our members renew their membership. So we're going to talk a lot about that in just a moment. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about what else happens in the spring is Volunteer Appreciation Month. So the month of April is Volunteer Appreciation Month, and actually the Girl Scout Appreciation Week is April 10th through the 16th. So tell us how your troop, how you guys are helping build the girls of courage, confidence, and character who make the world a better place at marketing@gsneo.org. We want to hear your stories, get your quotes and words of wisdom, and we'll be able to post those things and give you all the props in the world on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel and all those good things. So please be sure to share all the love with us. And by the way, did you know that it's never too late to be a Girl Scout? I run into people all the time that say, oh, I always wanted to be a Girl Scout. And I always tell them, you know what? It's not too late. You can always join Girl Scouts, and whether you're a girl or an adult, because even girls sometimes don't think they can join Girl Scouts in the summertime, but that is just not true. We do some of the most amazing things during this summer months, and it's a wonderful time to join in with a new troop and make new friends. Many of you said one of your favorite memories was making new friends, and so we don't want to shut anybody out ever. Actually, this year we're still striving to reach an additional 2,800 new girl members. And so let's talk for a minute about how we plan to do that. First of all, we have the I Can't Wait To Fill the Troops campaign. You have been seeing I Can't Wait To all over the place for a couple of years now, and that's just going to continue to keep going. We'll be continuing to get that word out through this I Can't Wait To campaign and help everybody fill the troops this summer. There are 2 flyers that you can print yourself or request through your service unit recruiter. And these are flyers that are specific to your troop. So if you have openings in your troop and you want to try to fill them up, you can print these flyers out and distribute them in your school or in your church. And also you can, hang them up locally in some of the local grocery stores or that sort of thing. And if you have any questions or you need any help with that, you can always email marketing@gsneo.org. So in addition to filling up the troops, we are going to be offering, camp opportunities out there in the world today. So usually every year we have great summer camp programs, and we always market those programs to our existing members because we know that our girls love to go camping. But every year we have like an additional 1,000 spaces that we could take about 1,000 more girls than we actually serve. And so now we're going to go outside the confines of our own membership and welcome non-members into Girl Scouting as well. So we made it really, really easy for them. It was a lot of work to put it together, but it's going to be super easy for new girls. And what they'll do is go to gsneo.org Camp Life, and that's going to be on all the brochures and everything. And when they go there, they'll be able to select the camp of their choice, and they'll just pick the non-member rate, which is actually only $15 more than the member rate, but that includes their membership, and so it's one-stop shopping. They can register for camp and become a member all in one beautiful, smooth process. And so please help us share the word about camp life being the best life, and I'm pretty sure you guys are all in agreement with that. Lastly, we have a very special program called Welcome to Daisy for girls entering kindergarten in the fall. So you can get all the great information about this on our website as well, gsneo.org/daisy. And these girls are going to, if they register for kindergarten, if they're entering kindergarten in the fall and they register to become a Girl Scout Daisy between April 1st and June 30th, they're going to get a fun patch, they're going to get a certificate, stickers, a zoo ticket, and they'll get their very own Welcome to Daisy e-newsletter. So again, this is for girls entering kindergarten in the fall. It's only $15. In the past, it was $25 because we did a 2-year kind of thing. So this is kind of revamped. In case you heard about this before, help us get the word out. It's just for girls entering kindergarten in the fall, and it's just $15. And so we're really excited about meeting all these new girls at the zoo in their sea of blue vests and smocks. All right, so let's get to it. One of the things that happens in the spring that is so super important is from April 1 to June 30th, our spring renewal campaign. This is one of the biggest things that happens. And, here's the thing. You don't have to wait till June to get it done. You can jump right on this. So during this time, by the way, new members are also welcome to join the troops. There's still plenty of summer left. So whether, if they're new, great, they can purchase their 2017 membership on April 1st. And if they're renewing, fantastic, they can renew for 2017 on April 1st. And who needs to renew? I know a lot of times we get questions about, well, does this person have to renew or does that person have to renew? Here's the answer. Everybody has to renew. That includes the staff.
Including lifetime.
Including lifetime. So that's your staff members, your board members, your service team members, troop volunteers, committee members, program facilitators, etc. And like Lizbeth just said, lifetime members. So people might be saying, now wait a minute, they paid for lifetime membership. Why do they have to renew? Well, it's because if they have a volunteer role with the Girl Scouts, they need to renew their role and they need to refresh their data. So they want to update their profile and they want to recommit to their volunteer role if they have one every year.
They don't have to pay, but they do need to do that.
That's right. So please help us, communicate with our lifetimers. Also, each adult in the troop should only fill one role, unless, of course, it's the product sale position. Then you want to make sure that you do identify yourself as the product salesperson if you are, in addition to your troop leader role. So if you're the troop leader and the product salesperson, then naturally you have 2 roles. But otherwise, you really only need to pick one thing. If you're the troop leader, you don't also have to say that you're a field trip driver because we know that troop leaders drive on field trips. If all you plan to do for the troop is drive on field trips, then you can just pick that role and you don't have to pick anything else. What we're finding is people are selecting like 10 different roles because they want to go on field trips and drive and do the finances and be the troop leader and the cookie mom, and so they pick it all, and that's just not necessary. So hopefully we can get all of that straightened out this year.
But Kim, what if you have a volunteer position in more than one troop?
Then indeed you do need to claim your role in each of those troops. But again, only one role for each troop. Make sense?
We have a couple of hand raised, Kim, so I just wanted to give you an FYI.
All right.
I don't know if they're an accident or if there's a question. Looks like Mary Ellen Daly.
Hand raisings, right? Let's take a look here. What about the question log? How are we doing there?
I have one that just came in. So
Okay.
If a parent let their membership lapse this year, they were a member until 2015. If they renew in April, will their membership be good starting in April and go through 2017?
That's a very good question. So we're talking about a parent who is not a member yet because they still need to renew for this year. So here's how that'll work, and we'll give you a sneak preview on that, but we're going to talk more about that in a minute. But anybody who's currently lapsed, meaning they were a member last year, but they still didn't renew for this year, they need to do that first. They need to renew for 2016 and take care of that business before they start worrying about the future years. So if they're lapsed, they need to renew for 2016, and then once they do that, they'll right away be able to renew for 2017. You can't buy 2017 early if you still have a pending lapsed membership for 2016. So hopefully that helps a bit. So the question might be, by the way, speaking about the zoo, we've talked about the zoo a couple times, and I just want to put this back out there because this has got to be one of the biggest, most favorite events of the year. But once again, we will have Girl Scout Day at the Cleveland Metro Park Zoo on September 17th. And every girl who purchases her membership 2017 by June 30th is going to get a free ticket. So it doesn't matter if it's a brand new girl buying 2017 or if it's a renewing girl buying 2017, as long as they do it by June 30th, they're going to get a ticket to the zoo and they're going to get an I Can't Wait To patch. So that's really super exciting. You might be wondering, well, what about the troops? What do they get for renewing their girls? And, it's not a Hawaiian vacation or a trophy or a blue ribbon, but actually what they get is peace of mind. That's the biggest, most important one, so I put it first because I remember as a troop leader, this is no small feat to get everyone renewed for the next year, and I knew when it was finished, I felt pretty good and had some peace about that. So first, peace of mind. Of course, we always want to be prepared as Girl Scouts and avoid the busy summer and fall season. And then, you know what? It helps you make sure your girls are all coming back next year, which has always been one of my most important things to me as a troop leader is I wanted to make sure I captured all my girls and took them with me forward for the next year. But wait, there's more. Not only will you have peace of mind, but you will also earn an additional 3 cents of profit per box of cookies sold, an extra 3 cents as easy as 1, 2, 3. So this is how this works. And actually, I just want to give props to Elizabeth for coming up with this because it made it so super easy.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So 1, 2, 3. 1, renew your troop. 2, do your finance report. 3, participate in the magazine and snack sale. If you do those 3 things, you get 3 cents. So there's some details in there. What if we don't have 5 girls? What if we don't turn in our finance report by June 30th, this sort of thing. So that's on the screen there for you. You do need to do all 3 things to get the 3 cents. Now remember, if you, let's say that you skip one of those things and you don't qualify for the 3 cents. Well, that doesn't mean that your girls won't get a zoo ticket. They will if they bought their membership by June 30th, they'll still get their zoo ticket. But that doesn't mean the troop's going to get 3 cents per box because they still have to do 1, 2, 3. Make sense? All right, and what about the service units? So Oh, you know what? Before we get to the service units, let me back up for just a second. Let's talk about that finance report because it is so super important and it is a requirement. So even if you don't care about 3 cents per box, it's still required that you submit your finance report by June 30th. And we know that there's a couple different ways to submit a finance report now, but you do need to use the GSNEO form, which is on the gsneo.org website. So you could see the page right here. And you just go under volunteers and then there's the troop group financial reporting. You click on this green box and you go ahead and you complete your report right there and submit it right there online. You don't have to print, you don't have to do any of that. It comes right to us. And also, by the way, you can see the information here for the troop CFO patch, which is a great way to share the finances with your parents and girls and get everybody in the know. So what about that snazzy new finance report that's on the VTK? So if you open up the VTK, you will see that you can select finances, and then you get this report where you could track your finances. And that's really awesome. I do want to encourage everyone to start using that because we do intend eventually to switch over to that from our form, but not yet. But I do want to say that if you put your information in here quarterly, it'll certainly help you a lot when it comes time to fill out your finance report because you'll have these interim reports that will help you. And the other benefit to this is your parents can see where you are with your troop expenses at any time throughout the year as well. So we really do encourage everyone to use the finances report and then also don't forget to submit your GSNEO report. All right, so what's in it for the service units? You might be wondering. All of you belong to a service unit, and the service unit gets some rewards too. So 75% renewal equals $25. And that means on April 1, we're going to look at how many girls are in your service unit. And on June 30th, we're going to say, is there 75% of them renewed? If so, we're going to send the service unit a check for $25, which is really, really helpful with the service unit. We know that some of our service team members have expenses like they'll make copies or provide refreshments at meetings, and so this helps them offset that cost. It's just being part of the team. So when you renew your troop, you're actually helping your service unit as well. All right, and don't forget, we'll remind everybody. We have email messages that are going to go out. We have social media messages that are going to go out to help remind everybody about renewing. And all we ask of you is to repost those. Just get it out there in front of everybody as best you can. And we know you do that, and we thank you very much for that. So let's talk about money for a second here. Let's be making some sense, okay? When we know that financial assistance is available for membership fees, that is very true. But it's also a very good idea, and it makes a lot of sense to teach girls about money management and budgeting. So when you're setting goals for your product sales, always incorporate the cost of renewal. Membership is a requirement, and taking care of requirements first is one way to teach girls to be smart with their money. Remember that paying for the cost of a required adult is also a legitimate troop expense, but talk it over with your girls first and make sure everyone agrees. This would be...
I love that, Kim. That's such a good point to make.
You know, I think what it does is it really helps girls learn how to be good money managers, and that's really setting them up for a positive future. So,
I mean, I don't know about you, but when I, look at my paycheck every day or every time it comes in, I have to pay my mortgage first, and I have to, make sure I get the dog food before I, plan a holiday vacation. So I think it's a smart move to set the girls up that way.
Yep, I agree. Couldn't agree more. And, sometimes people get a little confused about financial assistance, and we also have this thing called Scoutship, so there's a little confusion there sometimes. Just to help clear that up, financial assistance is for membership registration only. It's for the $15. It can be applied for or asked for by the family members when they're renewing their girls or registering a new girl during the registration process. And this is a direct expense to GSNEO. Funds are limited. It's not, an endless fountain of money, although I wish that were true. It's not free. So whenever someone clicks that they need us to pay the $15 for membership, we literally do pay that. We send a check to GSUSA for $15, and every time we send them money, that's less money that we can keep locally. And so I think that by spreading the word and helping girls be a little more independent and really plan ahead for their membership, it's going to help everybody. And then the Scoutship thing, right? So Scoutship is also, aid, but it's actually for uniform pieces, Girl Scout books, pathway passes for council events, and resident camp discounts. And it's based on need. So there's actually an application that you can apply for help. The application is at gsneo.org. And, troop leaders, and for Scoutship, troop leaders can fill this out for girls, but you should never do that behind the back of the family member. Really, this should be something, if the troop leader is going to help with it, great, but it shouldn't be a secret to the family. And it always amazes me when families were unaware that they had applied for Scoutship, because that should never be a surprise to a family. By the way, the applications for 2016 end on July 16th. And then the application for Scoutship of 2017 will open on August 1. So it'll be down for a little while we shift years.
And that being said, financial assistance through the membership portal is available year-round.
Thank you. Yep. And, Scoutship's not free either. I mean, this is also, just like your family has a budget and funds are always limited, the same is true with our council. We don't have unlimited funds, though we do have some funders that help with these things. There's still not an endless supply. So we just do the best we can and help those who really, truly need it. So before we shift gears and get into looking at this system, I'm just wondering, Lisbeth, are there any questions or anything people, any hands raised that maybe we should unmute some folks?
We actually do have a question. It's going back to camp. So we have a question about camp and non-members. And just a real quick, if you could re-summarize that again, Mary Ellen had a question.
Sure, absolutely. So what we've done is we've allowed non-members to register for camp program. That doesn't mean that by the time they get to camp, they're not going to be members. They will be, but they don't have to already be a member to register for summer camp. So what they would do is go to our website, gsneo.org/camplife, and from there they'll be able to see all the wonderful, they'll see our program guide, the summer guide that all of our members get. And in that book, you're going to see links to your favorite programs. They click on it, and that's going to let them register for the program. And if they're not currently a member, they'll also be charged the non-member fee. Now, the non-member fee is going to cover the cost of their membership. So at that point, they'll become a member, and it makes it really super duper easy. So don't shy away from inviting your non-member Girl Scout friends to Girl Scout camp, because we'll just go ahead and take care of getting them to be members right along with the process. Easy peasy.
Thanks, Kim.
You're welcome. All right. So
other than that, I think we're ready to go.
Ready to roll forward? Okay. Well, with that, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Lisbeth.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. And you're going to change the presenter for me?
I would be happy to.
Okay. No problem, Mary Ellen. We have no problem. Okay. So hopefully you can all see my screen. We have the, so far, you got it so far?
I see it.
Fabulous. Love that. Hi, everyone. My name is Lisbeth Kohler, and I am the Senior Manager of Customer Care and Business Analysis. So I am the subject matter expert in everything having to do with registration and membership registration, as well as events and all that kind of stuff. So today we're going to actually go through some screenshots of the enhancements that have been made to the renewal system. And you can kind of think about this in a couple of parts. There is the membership tab, which has to do with the family, so individual and family renewal, so we call that the household. You can also update the family profile, so we'll see that. We're also going to get a chance to check out the troop tab, so how does a troop leader go in and renew her troop? And again, troop leaders are considered our direct primary volunteers. Two other roles fit into that as well, and those are our troop program guides as well as our troop admins. So if you have any one of those volunteer roles, you are able to do the troop renewal. All right, so let's go ahead and dive right in. So throughout the whole renewal system, there is a lot of two-way communication and a loop that kind of keeps everybody informed about what's going on. So for example, troop leaders, troop admins, troop program guides, if they do anything in the system as far as editing a person's information or renewing somebody, it is going to send an email to the parent or the caregiver. And vice versa, if the parent or the caregiver goes in and renews their daughter or themselves, it's going to send an email to the troop leader and the troop admins and the troop program guide. The other piece is if a troop leader goes in and renews the troop, an email will also be sent to the other direct primary volunteers in the troop. So everybody kind of is kept in a loop. Okay. The system is also set up to help anybody who gets stuck or maybe drops off. So the idea is, in my scenario, is I start the renewal process, I'm starting to renew my troop, and all of a sudden the doorbell rings, the dogs start barking, and I go and handle that, and next thing I know my husband's jumped on the computer and he's taken off from doing something and is watching a video on YouTube, and I forget all about renewing my troop. It's going to send me an email in 2 days if I haven't started back up to remind me to go back in and pick up where I left off. If I ignore that email, I'll get another email at 5 days, again, to pick up where I left off. At that point, it will, the system actually then kind of resets the system on the 6th day if you still haven't done it, and it's going to change the status back to, renew. So there's a couple ways to get into the spring renewal. You can click on renewal from our website on GSNEO. There's a couple pictures and any of those ads that Kim talked about earlier. You can also, and once you do that, you'll go to and find the Renew Today. I'm going to grab my laser pointer while I'm at it. So there will be a Renew Today button. You can also click on My GS from any of the GSNEO web pages. And when you do that, it's going to take you to this screen here. And basically it's a way for you to log into the member profile. And remember, your username should be your email address that you use for everything Girl Scouts. So if you've gotten one of those wonderful reminder emails about renewal, look who it came to, and that's the email that we have in our system. The password is something that you might have set up a while ago, so you might not remember it, but luckily we have this Forgot Your Password link. And if you have forgotten your password, you can click on this link anytime, and you can, the system will automatically generate an email to you, whatever the email that you have in the system, and it's going to send you the ability to go ahead and reset your password and log in. If for some reason you don't longer have access to the email that maybe we have on record, you can always call customer care and we can reset that for you and fix it up. Okay? So once we logged in and successfully, we are going to see our membership tab is where we kind of default to. And in this particular case, these are screenshots because the whole renewal system is still in testing. So in this particular case, we're going to pretend that we are Jason Burnett. And Jason is a parent. He has a girl in Girl Scouting. He also is the troop leader for 2 troops, and you can see that down here. So as we're going to be pretend to be Jason, we're going to go through the whole renewal process of renewing himself, his daughter, as well as some girls and parents in his troop. So I just want to call your attention to this screen. You can see here that you have the current membership year, and it says that. Right now, if you log in, you would see something very similar to this. You just won't have this box over here. And on April 1st, this box will appear along with an option to toggle down and select New Year or next year. So you'll be able to do that, and we'll show that in just a minute. You can also see that for every girl that's in the household, there is the ability to add and change troops. As well as for the adults, you can add a role. So for example, Jason has now decided to take a service unit team role, or maybe he's decided to be an archery volunteer. He can go on here and click add a role, and it will take him into the opportunity catalog to select that particular role. So we can do that. Jason can also go in and add a new member. So if he wants to register his brand new Daisy, he can do that. He can also register his wife, and that would register them to the household. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. So let's talk about clicking on here. So we want to see next year. So when we click on next year, you can see again we still have the name, we still see the participation, but now the status gives us some different information. You can see that it says time to renew. And under renewal choice, we have some options. If we were to click this little button here, it's going to give us 3 options: renew, I'll decide later, or not at this time. Or do not renew, excuse me. So renew, I'll decide later, or do not renew. So the parent can choose what they're going to do. If they want to renew themselves, they can do that. They can renew their daughter. They can also say, this girl is not going to renew to this troop, and they can say do not renew, but they can also then transfer her into a new troop. So the situation like that would maybe be the family is moving, so they were in Medina, and now they are going to be in Lakewood, so they would end her participation in the Medina troop, and he would add or change troops and look for a new troop in his home, the town of Lakewood. So that's just an example there. But in this particular case, everything is good with my household. The girl is in the right troop. I have the right roles, so I am just going to click renew for all of these because I have everything looks like it's supposed to, and I'm going to click on continue.
And at this
Once
point,
I do that,
Jason, right?
Pardon?
I said at this point we're loving Jason. He just renewed everybody.
Yep, he's renewing himself and his daughter. Everything's great. So now we are actually taken to a confirmation screen, and basically what it's asking us to do is abide by the promise and law. So we are going to check the little box here that says, yes, I do that, and then you click on continue. Once you do that, it takes you to the payment screen. And the payment screen gives you the parent an option to make a donation to Girl Scouts, and it gives them some great reasons to do that. So they can choose to do that. If there's anybody in the household who's an adult member, it gives them an option to upgrade to a lifetime membership, so you can do that online. It also gives you kind of a spot here. You can see right now in the girls' record, because this is the parent and the family renewal, they can request aid. So this little box, if you needed the $15 and it's an honor system that you feel that you need the $15, you can check that box to request financial assistance. And just so you know, because different councils have different business processes and different policies, we're seeing some of those differences in this screen. So for example, Jason does not have the option to request aid in this screen. Some councils do not do that. GSNEO does make financial assistance available for both girls and adults, so that box will appear on our screens. And you'll notice also the council service fee. GSUSA gives councils the ability to charge up to an equal amount, anywhere up to an equal amount of the membership fee, so that's up to $15 per girl. And just so you know, GSNEO is not charging a council service fee at this time, so you won't see this line item on your payment screen. Okay. So that's, I think, just a good thing to note, because not all councils do everything the same way. So if you're talking to your sister or your sister-in-law in another state, they might have a different experience. Yeah. So once you put in your payment information and your billing address, you'll be able to go to the next screen.
Yep. While you're flipping screens, I just want to point out that I'm really glad, that we're not charging that service fee at our council right now. I'm glad that we don't have to do that, and I think it's, it's worth mentioning to our members that we don't do that. And other councils, a lot of them actually do, but maybe someday it'll be different. But right now, I think it's pretty amazing.
Yep, it is. So we're making do with everything else. So it's tight, but we're making do. Okay, so here you get to the actual confirm your renewal. So this is kind of, if you think about online shopping experience, you are verifying your shopping cart before you check out. So what you're going to do is actually look and make sure that everything in your cart is the way you want it. You do have the option to change your mind. So you want to maybe cancel out a role, or not register a girl or an adult. These little green X's will allow you to do that, which is very helpful. We're very glad to see that. We didn't have that last year. You then, if you're happy with it, you click on submit. and you're going to be taken to a thank you screen. So it'll give you your payment, whether you paid by credit, debit, or financial assistance. You can also print an itemized receipt, and which is also very fun, you can share the news on social media. So you'll be able to share it via Facebook. The system will also send you an email to give you receipt, and it's also going to send an email to the troop leaders, the direct primaries in the troop, to let them know that somebody has renewed to their troop. So I just want to show you what the parent email looks like. So imagine our GSNEO header on top of here, and then it basically tells Jason that he renewed, and it gives him a breakdown of what he did, so he can keep that for his records. Okay. So then Jason also have the opportunity to update his family profile. So let's just look at that really quickly. So Jason can either go in and click on this green link where it says Edit Profile Details for household members, or he can click on the Family Profile tab, and if he clicks on the Family Profile tab, he'll see something like this. And in here he can get a breakdown of how everybody is listed, and use the green Edit button to update their information. So if he needs to change the school, or if he needs to change the address, he can do so. And let's see what that looks like. So we click on Edit. And now we can go in and we can update all of the information here. Anything that appears in gray is something that he cannot change. So he would need to contact customer care in order to fix an error in the date of birth. And just so everybody knows, on July 1st, everybody will move up a grade. So all girls will age automatically into the next grade on July 1st. All right, so you are, I'm sure, anxiously awaiting troop renewals. So before that, do we have any questions, Kim?
I've been answering them here in the question log for the most part, so I think we're good.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to dive right in then. So moving into troop renewals, Jason now has completed the renewal for himself and his daughter, and that's really important because you want to do yourself as the troop leader first, because that gives you your 2017 membership, which will allow you to go in and register the girls for 2017. So now we've clicked on the Troops tab here, and again, remember, anybody with the direct primary role, which would be troop leaders, troop admins, troop program guides, has the ability to view the Troops tab. So he can do that, and when he clicks on the Troops tab, you'll notice if he has multiple troops, you'll have a drop down here, so he can toggle between different troops. You'll also see that you have a current year and a next year, and again, that will appear on April 1st. And again, it gives you a listing of who is in your troop with a status, and if the renewal is open, it'll give you the renewal choice. It also gives you the ability to edit, so if you needed to fix DJ Tanner, you could do that. It also gives you the ability. So for example, down here, you could see that this troop still has 2 people that need to renew for 2016, and he can take care of that now year-round and update that information. So let's say we're actually going to look at a different troop. We want to start with the younger troop first. So we're going to click on the different troop. So we've done that, and we've also clicked on next year, so we can see the 2017. You'll see it says membership year October 2016 to September 30th, 2017. And we can look down this here and we can see the information. So I need to switch troops. Sorry, I'm going to go over here and switch troops. And when I do that here, I can see my troop. And what you've got here is, for example, Girl Burnett, because she's already been renewed. You can see that it says in her status, renewed for 2017. For example, if a parent had already gone in and had started the process but hadn't finished it, it would say in the status in process. So you would see that. So again, troop leaders would be able to tell, and vice versa, parents would be able to tell that a troop is in process. So you'll see that. So in this particular case, we're going to go through and we're going to, since we talked to Carol Brady, we know that Cindy is going to renew, so we're going to check her. We know that Jan Brady is going to renew, check. We haven't heard back from the Winslow family yet, so we're going to say I decide later on both of those. Laura Partridge, we're going to renew. But Marcia Brady, oh, Marcia. we're going to have to worry about that because Marcia has decided that she does not want to renew. So maybe she's doing something else. Marcia is not renewing, and we're going to say do not renew for her. And then Carol Brady is renewing. Harriet, we're going to say wait, and then I think there's a Partridge down here. We're also going to renew her. So once we've got that all set up, we're going to go to the next screen. And again, we have the same where we have to confirm and abide by the Girl Scout promise and law. So yes, we check that off. We're going to come over here to continue. Here we're taken to the payment screen. Troop leaders have the ability to choose to donate to Girl Scouts as well. So if the girls have decided to designate some funds to Girl Scouts, they can do that. They also have, troop leaders can surprise an adult or work with an adult to upgrade their membership to a lifetime membership. So if they want to do that, they can. It's here. And you can see all of the people that we have now selected to renew are showed up in our payment screen. So we're going to click the next button or submit. Actually, we enter our billing address and payment information first. So again, remember there's no financial assistance box to check here because the troops do not have the ability to do so, only families. So it does require a credit and debit card, credit and or debit card. So you will need to fill that information in here. Once you've done that, it actually asks you to confirm it. So you're going to confirm and make sure that everybody is the way you want them to be. Again, if you change your mind or you see something that's not right, you can use the X button to cancel it, to remove the girl or adult from the transaction. And canceling is going to start everything over again, so you can start from scratch. In this case, it's exactly what we want, so we're going to click on Submit. And again, we get the thank you message where we can go ahead and print the receipt, see how we paid, share the news on Facebook. So in this case, Jason wants to share the news on Facebook so he can maybe motivate some other people that he knows to renew their troops. And you can see that he has shared a picture of his girls, which it looks like a fun troop, and that he has said, I've signed up for another year of Girl Scouts. So that is what it looks like when you do it on Facebook. Now Jason also is going to check his email, and he now finds the renewal receipt for the troop. So this was sent to the person who pays the piece, pays the renewal. And again, remember we have the emails that are communicated back and forth between through the system to different parties. So let's take a look at some of those emails. So for what we just did as Jason renewing the troop, remember that we did not renew Marcia. So Carol Brady, Marcia's mom, is going to get a message via email that says, a troop leader let us know that Marcia won't be returning to the troop next year. We're sorry to see her go, and we hope you'll reconsider. There are several ways you and your girl continue in Girl Scouts. So it gives you some different options and points them in the right direction to either select a new troop or participate as an individual girl. So that's a message that goes out to somebody who's not renewing. The leader would get, other leaders in the troop would get a confirmation email. So dear Jason, he gets it, but I think if there's any other direct primary troop admins, troop program guides, co-leaders, troop leaders, all those people are going to get a message as well saying people in your troop have been renewed. And it doesn't give you their names, but it does give you a link to log into my GS member profile to see who those people are. So you can click this link or visit my GS and see who has been renewed. The last one is an email that goes to the family. So again, Jason renewed Cindy, Jan, and Carol. So Carol gets a message letting her know that those 3 individuals have been renewed and have a place in the troop. So it shows that, and it gives them the opportunity to go in and view their member profile if they would like to. And if they have a problem, they can actually email council, and our council email address will be here, and so they can see that. Jason also has the ability to edit troop details. So just like a family, he can go in and now edit troop information. So this is very exciting. You can click on that link in the top, which would be View Edit Troop Information. When you do, this screen opens. And you can go in and change meeting dates, meeting frequency, meeting times. You can update your program grade level. You can also tell us the desired number of girls that you would like to have in the troop. You can also give us the meeting location name as well as address. And just note that address changes and the desired number of girls are reviewed by us first before being updated in the opportunity catalog, which is public. So we just want to make sure that there's not typos, that there's not an issue. So before it goes public, we want to just double check that. So there will be a little bit of a time lapse before that populates to the opportunity catalog. Also, troop leaders can add a new member to the troop. So this is a new feature for troop leaders, so we're going to talk about that right now. So just to refresh, adding a member. Primary caregivers can add a member to their household. So they would go into the membership tab and they would add a new member to their household. So when you want to do this is if you have a new family member, someone who lives in your household that you would like to register. So that would be the most sense. If you are adding a girl to the troop and you're not adopting her, you're adding a girl to your troop, you need to do it from the Troops tab. So for people who have both their own personal membership as well as a troop tab, you want to make sure you're on the right place before you start to add a girl. So just as a word of advice. So in this case, we have a new member in our troop and we want to add her. So we're going to be on the Troops tab and we're going to click Add a New Girl. Just so you know, the system will check first name, last name, and email to make sure that the person isn't already a Girl Scout member. So that helps us with some duplicates. We know that if the person is completely new, whoever starts the process really needs to finish it. So you want to make sure that you're aware of that. Also, troop leaders can add a girl to a troop, but they're not going to be able to end the girl's position if she's in a previous troop. So while you can add her to your troop, you're not going to be able to end her participation in the other troop. So the parent can do that, but you as the troop leader cannot. Okay? And again, you can go right through here. Okay. So now we know that we have a direct primary and we're going to add a girl or an adult member. So we're going to click on Girl from the Troops tab and click on Go. And we are going to have to complete the girl information. So again, we're putting the girl's first name, last name, email, the school she's attending, the grade, the parents' information, their email address, all that good stuff. And you have to complete that and then hit Continue. And if it finds the girl in the system, you'll get a message that looks like this. Great news, we have found the girl or the adult to be an existing Girl Scout member. Do you want to add her to your troop? Yes. If you say thank you, if you say yes you do, it'll confirm it and you can just close that. And if they already had a membership, you're done. If they don't have a membership, then you're going to actually have to go in and purchase the membership. So you would get the option to select the 2017 membership. You would put all of the address information in as well as the parent information in, and then click on Continue. Once you do that, you will get a thank you message again. So same thank you message we've seen before, and you'll be able to print an itemized receipt as well as you'll get one via email. Okay. And remember, the workflow emails, the parent or guardian will receive an email confirming that the girl or the adult has been added to the troop. Okay, I know we have a couple minutes left. My cuckoo cooped a little soon. So if you have any questions, I can help go back, look at things.
Okay, that's funny about your cuckoo clock there. I heard it.
It's a little fast.
Yeah, so we do have a couple minutes. We've had some very good questions in the question log, and I do hope that between the answers that were typed and the presentation that Lizbeth was able to answer those questions for everyone. If not, raise your hand. We'll unmute you. We can elaborate on something. This would be a good time to do that if you do have a question. One of the things that came up this morning and came up again, what happens if a family doesn't have an email account or they don't have an internet? What do you do?
Well, the best thing is, the beautiful thing is troop leaders can register for the adults and the girls now, so you have that ability to do that. The whole system is now accessible via phones, so smartphones, tablets. It's easy to access that way. There are kiosks at all of the Girl Scout service centers, so you can come in and use the kiosk to register locally, and we'll be happy to help you do that. There's libraries, there's all sorts of different options. I think one of the things that our registrars and our CMEs have been talking about is having, in some of those areas where we know there is a lot of need, we can come out and have a spring renewal night where we would set up a couple of laptops and have some tablets and have everybody register. So if you'd like to participate that way, I think that's a great idea. So hopefully that gives you some options.
I think that's great. So, the Girl Scouts are known for the buddy system, and it doesn't fail us now, right? Buddy system, don't fail us now. So if we're really stuck, that's a good way to go about helping somebody out. All right, we had another question that came in just a moment ago that said, excuse me, can you talk about the changes to the DAISY program? I had trouble logging in at the beginning, and I think I might have missed it. So, Welcome to DAISY is a campaign. Our, DAISY Girl Scouts is still kindergarten and first graders, but we have a special kind of campaign running right now to help us recruit new girls entering kindergarten in the fall, and it's called Welcome to DAISY. So in the past, it was a kindergarten and first grade program, but we've simplified this and made it easier for families to understand. And so what it is, we send out flyers, we advertise the program to join Girl Scouts. Pretty much right now, those girls are 4 years old and in preschool. So we'll send flyers to the preschools and stuff like that. And if they join, they'll pay the $15 membership, which will purchase their 2017 membership. And because they did that, they're going to get a zoo ticket, as long as it's by June 30th. They'll also get some stickers, and they'll get a special e-news. There's even a DAISY page at GSNEO.org. They're going to get a patch and a certificate. So it's a whole bunch of fun things to help entice families to sign their kindergartner girls up. And it'll hit, you'll hear it everywhere on April 1. So hopefully that answered that question. And I know on your screen right now, I think it's just a little typo. I don't know, it's a snafu. We've been trying to fix it all day. But the kindergartners entering kindergarten in the fall of 2016. So it's for the 2017 year, but it's the fall of 2016 when they're actually going to be starting kindergarten. And by the way, I did just upload the PowerPoint to the handouts. So if you look on your menu on the right-hand side of your screen under handouts, you'll see the PowerPoint is there. If you want to download that and refer back to it, you're welcome to do that. We also had a question that said a parent can only change troops if there is an open place in the new troop in the catalog, right? So do you want to elaborate a little bit?
Correct.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yep, that is correct. And the same thing for the leaders. The troop leader or a volunteer, you can only add a role. Even the troop leaders can only add a role for a volunteer if the volunteer role exists in the opportunity catalog. So if you run across that and you need assistance making sure a role is in the opportunity catalog, please let us know. There is a link to a read-only version of the opportunity catalog on the service unit registrar page. So if you want to get to that, you can do that. So you can check that out ahead of time if you want to see how your troop looks in the opportunity catalog. You can do it that way. But customer care is standing by to help you make any changes that you may need. So there you go.
Yeah. So give us a ring. Okay. Well, that about wraps us up. We're right at 7:30. We want to thank you so much for joining the call this evening and for all your wonderful questions. Right after you disconnect, you're going to get a short survey just asking you how you felt about the call. And so if you don't mind, I think it's only 4 questions, just answering that for us. We haven't really done an all membership webinar before, quite like this one, although we do have Wow Wednesday webinars in case you have missed that information. So on the second Wednesday of every month, there's a webinar at noon, and it's 6:30, I think. And it's for troop leaders or all troop volunteers to kind of get news and information about, most frequently asked questions and things that are going on. So the one in April, the second Wednesday in April, will be all about things to do in the summertime as a Girl Scout. So it's all about summer camp and our summer programs and all that great stuff, and our program director will be joining us. You can register for Wow Wednesday webinars on the events calendar at gsneo.org. All right, well, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. We want to thank everyone for being here and have a wonderful evening. Have fun with your girls.
Thanks, Kim. Thanks, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.